early hours of January 29th, 2022, 46-year-old Boston police officer John O'Keefe was found unresponsive in the snow outside a gathering at the home of Brian Albert in Canton, Massachusetts. He was found at about 6 a.m. in Brian's front yard with 2 black eyes and deep cuts on the back of his head and right arm. An autopsy revealed that he passed away from blunt force trauma and hypothermia. After an investigation, John's girlfriend, Karen Reed, who worked in equity research at Fidelity, was accused of drunkenly backing into John with her vehicle during a winter storm. Karen was arrested on February 2nd, but pleaded not guilty to the charges. She was ordered held on $100,000 bail, but she made bail and was released. On May 24, 2023, during a pretrial hearing, Karen's attorneys laid out an alleged cover-up by law enforcement. Attorney Alan Jackson said, "Certainly the Massachusetts State Police is involved. There are people that were in that house that are involved. Brian Albert is involved. Jennifer McCabe is involved. The rest of the folks that were in that house, there's some level of involvement by every one of them. Every single one of them. We're not going to rest until we get to the bottom of exactly who's behind this cover-up. Not only Karen Reed deserves this, John O'Keefe deserves this, and has deserved this from moment one. And that's why they're not going to rest." Karen addressed the reporters for the first time on the courthouse steps. She said, "We know who did it. We know, and we know who spearheaded this cover-up. You all know. I tried to save his life. I tried to save his life at 6 in the morning. I was covered in his blood. I was the only one trying to save his life." Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey said, "Conspiracy theories are not evidence. The idea that multiple police departments, EMTs, fire personnel, the medical examiner, and the prosecuting agency are joined in, or taken in by, a vast conspiracy should be seen for what it is, completely contrary to the evidence and a desperate attempt to reassign guilt. The evidence that the prosecutors have is DNA evidence recovered from a broken taillight that implicates Karen. They said the taillight is the same material from Karen's SUV and that the DNA matched John's. They also said that broken taillight material was found on John's clothing. But on March 12, 2024, the defense team said that a FBI expert concluded that the evidence does not support the theory that John was hit by a SUV. Attorney Jackson said, "The damage on the car was inconsistent with having made contact with John O'Keefe's body. In other words, the car didn't hit him, and he wasn't hit by the car." But the prosecutors disagreed. Her trial started in April 2024. In July, Karen's trial was declared a mistrial after the jury remained locked after 5 days of deliberations. On January 29, 2025, John's family released a statement as they marked 3 years since his demise. They said, "It has been 3 years since Johnny was senselessly taken from us. The void in our lives grows with each passing day, week, month, and year. His absence is profound, and we will continue to seek justice for him. He is always in our hearts." Her second trial started on April 22, 2025, after months of additional pretrial hearings. The following was discussed during the 2 trials. The prosecutors claimed that Karen dropped John off outside Brian's house and then backed into him with her Lexus SUV while driving intoxicated and drove off. It was revealed that voicemails and text messages between John and Karen showed a strained relationship between them. In one voicemail, Karen said, "You are a loser. John, I hate you." Karen phoned family members in the early morning hours, as John didn't come home and was not answering his cell phone. While searching, she said, "What if he's deceased? What if a plow hit him? I don't remember anything from last night. We drank so much I don't remember anything." Karen also mentioned to a woman, Jennifer McCabe, that she had a crack in her SUV's taillight and wondered if she could have hit John. When Karen discovered John lying in the snow outside, she was hysterical and inconsolable. A paramedic said that she repeatedly said, "I hit him. I hit him." But the defense team said that the paramedic's testimony has changed over time. In the early morning hours, Jennifer Googled how long to pass away in the cold after Karen asked her to. It is alleged that the search was made before the body was found. Brian testified that John and Karen never entered his home the night of the incident. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives agent Brian Higgins was on the stand. The prosecutors presented flirty text messages that he and Karen shared in the weeks leading up to John's end. Karen's defense attorneys argued that John, who allegedly had a long-standing disagreement with someone at the party, was severely injured during an argument at the party and may have been attacked by a dog given the deep wounds on his arm. The defense also claimed that Karen is the victim of a cover-up by police. Karen's attorneys also alleged that the authorities planted evidence to protect one of their own. A surveillance camera at John's house showed Karen's SUV coming extremely close to John's SUV in the driveway. Karen's defense argued that the vehicle did strike the SUV, breaking the taillight and providing an explanation for damage to the SUV. The prosecutors said that no taillight pieces were found in the driveway. On June 18th, on the fourth day of deliberations, and after nearly 4 years and 2 trials, Karen Reed was found not guilty of ending her boyfriend, John's life. The jury only found her guilty of operating under the influence of liquor, and she was sentenced to 1 year of probation. On the night of January 28, 2022, Karen, John, and a group of friends went to the Waterfall Bar and Grill in Canton. Karen consumed several alcoholic beverages before driving John to the home of Boston police officer Brian Albert. This was the moment 45-year-old Karen, her family, attorneys, and supporters had waited for. Immediately after the verdict was read, Karen hugged her lawyers and cried in court. About 40 minutes later, Karen exited the courthouse in Dedham, Massachusetts, to raucous cheers from the scores of supporters waiting outside for her. Standing on the courthouse steps in front of a bank of microphones next to one of her attorneys, Alan Jackson, and her father, William Reed, she addressed the crowd. She said, "I just want to say 2 things. Number 1 is I could not be standing here without these amazing supporters who have supported me and my team financially and, more importantly, emotionally for almost 4 years." As cheers from the crowd grew even louder, she said, "The second thing I want to say is no one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have, and my team. Thank you." Her father then stepped forward saying, "I want to acknowledge the strength of our daughter Karen, the support of the entire Reed extended family." He added, "I want to acknowledge the greatest team of attorneys. We thank everyone for your support from the heart, including all the content providers who helped spread the word. Thank you so much. God bless you." But a member of John's extended family, Beth, disputes that claim. She called the verdict heartbreaking, expressing anger towards the outside influences that she believes influenced the results. Beth said, she and her family have not fought for anything except for Karen Reed. Several people who knew John said in a statement, "Today, our hearts are with John and the entire O'Keefe family. They have suffered through so much and deserve better from our justice system. While we may have more to say in the future, today we mourn with John's family and lament the cruel reality that this prosecution was infected by lies and conspiracy theories spread by Karen Reed, her defense team, and some in the media. Some of the people who signed the statement was on the defense team's list of possible suspects of who were not properly investigated in John's case.